going back to my audition, and getting it through and seeing that it's like drum and bass, Manchester's rave scene, I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, this is really interesting." And then I remember doing my audition and just being like, "Please let me get this." Just because it just felt so playful, so fresh, so different, and so relatable as well, like really easy to kind of access in my brain. So yeah, I think that people are going to really see a very, very new version of Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream, and I do think they will love it as well.
Oh, I'm loving it already. Just reading about it, so I can't wait to see it on stage.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the character that you're playing, then
Mm.
are we seeing a bit of a different Helena then? And what are the changes that might have been made to her?
Yeah, I think you're always gonna see a different Helena because it's always gonna be a different world and a different human being. But I think, we're all slowly through rehearsals grounding ourselves in this world. So the Helena that belongs in Manchester's rave scene is going to be different. And also, there's a lot of music involved as well, which kind of stirs up different emotions and different ways of jumping into scenes, and connecting to other characters, and kind of also, the relationship between Helena and Demetrius. I feel like we've kind of created a bit of a different backstory, which then, or like between us, have like kind of developed something that actually falls into the scene. So I just think you definitely will be seeing a different version. I don't want to give too much away, but 100% it is going to be a unique version for every single character that you see. And Helena's a lot of fun, like a lot of fun. Like all she wants is love, and she just can't quite get it. So it's so much fun to play around with.
And I think the exchanges that she has with Hermia as well, I think those scenes
Yeah.
must be quite fun to play.
Yeah, we're currently working on the big four lovers scene where there's people on love potions, and
Yeah.
Helena and Hermia are not quite gelling, and you've stolen my man, and all of this kind of stuff, and it's really physical. And yeah, the violence kind of escalates as you go. So Hermia and Helena's relationship is at that point like really rocky, and which is again really fun to play with.
Mm. Well, like you say, things change, like the world change, people change and stuff. I recently watched Romeo and Juliet again, Baz Luhrmann's directorial version
Oh,
of it.
my favorite, yeah.
And it is incredible, isn't it? How
Yeah.
you can relate it to things that are, more modern, or even in that sense,
Mm.
the guns that they use had
Yeah.
like rapier engraved in them. So when they were
Yeah.
talking about the rapier, it was like, oh no, this is a gun. So I
Yeah.
think there's some really clever things that you can do with Shakespeare, can't you?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that is one of my favorite films. I love Romeo and Juliet, and the reason I love it is for that reason, because you are given things that live in your world.
Hmm.
So, when someone says a word that you have no idea what the word is, but you bring an object into it, or you bring a song into it that you go, "Oh no, I know what this like I understand. I know what they're saying." So yeah, I think a lot of this will make sense for people.
Because I think that must be a hard thing for an actor to approach Shakespeare because of that language back
Yeah.
then, and then to make it relatable to audiences. So I always,
Yeah.
yeah, take my hat
Yeah.
off to you and stuff with that. I really,
Yeah,
really
you really have to understand what you're saying, because as long as we understand, I think it will come across. But you have to do that work, and you have to figure out what all of those different words mean, and which is fun and interesting, and like, you'll read a line and be like, I have no clue, do your little research, and you're like, oh, that's what it's saying. So like, how do I get this across to make it make sense for the audience? So, all of that discovery is really, really fun.
And you mentioned, obviously, there's a lot of music in this. You have got a DJ on set.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's it. So Sallow
Yeah.
is going to be there as the moon
Yeah.
and playing some banging music, I imagine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 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 the whole way through, like, Sallow's amazing, so she's kind of like the thing that all of the characters are drawn to, and, she's like, the light in our story, and yeah, she's just knocking out the bangers all the way through, and, most of the music is, from well, all of the music is Manchester drum and bass artists, so
Oh my
again,
gosh, wow.
yeah, yeah.
And that's great for you. I mean, you're a local girl. Was it
Yeah, I'm
Stockport you
local.
grew up in?
Yeah, yeah, I grew up in Stockport, yeah. I mean, I've not lived there for a while, but I'm living there now.
Oh, fantastic. But
Yeah.
it must mean something more special every time that you come home, because I know you were on tour with like the Bodyguard, weren't you? You've played at the
Mhm.
Royal Exchange before in
Yeah, yeah,
Gypsy. So
yeah.
does it have that extra special meaning?
100%. I when I worked here in Gypsy, I had, like, the best experience ever, and I love the building, and I love the people, and I just think it's a wonderful place to work. So I remember when I walked in, I had my audition here, and yeah, it feels like home because it is home, and also because I had such a wonderful time here. Um, so it's extremely special to work here again, and I hope that I get to work here like as many times as possible because I
It's
think it's brilliant.
it's an amazing, amazing
Yeah,
theatre.
and the space, the theater is just, it's just amazing to yeah, do this in the round, and I think Shakespeare is really well made for this theatre as well, because you can really, like, take everything in and take everyone in, and really, once you lean into it and, like, the grandness of his words and his poetry, like, you're like, "Oh, I'm so glad this is in the round because I
Yeah.
can just be like, bam, 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 everywhere."
Oh, the crowd is gonna go wild. I can feel it really well doing you. I'm sure you'll have quite a bit of home crowding, friends and
Yeah.
family, people like that. But not
Mhm.
only that, I think some of the other actors as well, they're Manchester faces. And I think that's
Mm.
great to have that authenticity if you are doing it on like the Manchester scene. And that's really nice to see, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It feels very authentic, and yeah, most people are northern in this, which, grounds it and just makes it feel, um, again, even more special. And everyone is just really sound, like just really lovely northerners, just all having a
We
good
all know,
time.
aren't we? Like a
Yeah,
good old natter, we all get on. It's not
yeah,
hard. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, obviously, it's got the drum and bass and it involves music. Part of me wanted there to be some songs in it because we know you from musical theatre. You've like played Satine. I mean, wow, Moulin Rouge,
Yeah.
incredible. And as I say, Nicky Maron. Are we going to see you sing? Do we get any vocals off you, Melissa? It would seem a shame not to.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah, no, no, no. There's vocals from me and there's vocals from like quite a few characters actually. So there's music all the time, but then yes, there is vocals squeezed into bits of text or in between text, or leading into scenes and things like that. So yeah, you're gonna get you're gonna get what you want.
Fabulous. And is it original music or is it going to be music that we know and may have like heard before? Like, is it kind of
Um, some of it is original. I think the bits that Sallow has created, she's created some original stuff for the moon, and her voice is incredible. And then a lot of it is drum and bass songs. So drum and bass songs that will lead into different bits, or like rapping and spoken word, all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I can see you're excited.
I am so excited because I do. I'm a big Manchester girl, so I
Mm,
love anything that kind of weaves our wonderful city into it, but
yeah.
also brings the richness and the culture, and and this is making me feel. I'm going to show my age, like back to my '90s days and the clubbing scene, and like
Yeah.
getting down to drum and bass. Maybe not now in my 40s. I might be a little bit uncool when I'm sat there. But again, this is something that I think is extra special for you because I did a little bit of research on you,
Did
and
you?
you've been in a Midsummer Night's Dream before as a fairy, haven't you?
I have, yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, I did Midsummer Night's Dream at the Theatre Royal Bath, and I was a fairy, or the first fairy, but which is great because I had a bit of, well, a lot of knowledge of the show. But as much as you have knowledge of the show, once you change the world, it's
yeah.
a whole different thing, and it's an extremely different world. So, um, yeah, I was lucky enough to like have be in that play and watch some incredible actors, that have been in the RSC for years and years and years, and learn all that stuff. But yeah, this is like a 180 completely, and amazing to jump from fairy to one of the lovers and play Helena.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, I'm going to let you go in a moment, but 3 words from you that sum up A Midsummer Night's Dream and what we're going to get at the Royal Exchange.
Oh, passionate, funny, chaos.
Yes.